Hello there, folks. Bonkekook here, aka your Lonely Achievement God, continuing our Lawn Mowing Simulator challenge coverage with Amateur Challenge number 3, the Garden Lawns of Coville. Sorry about that. Garden Lawns of 59 Coville Street. This is a fuel limit challenge with the Stega mower. The Stega mowers are my least favorite to use because mowing in first person, which I like to do, is almost impossible with them because the blades, I believe, are in the back, which makes it difficult to properly estimate where you're cutting in first person. So we'll be using an overhead view for this one. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, it is a fuel challenge, which means you have no time limit. You can take as much time as you want, and as always with the fuel challenges, you are guaranteed to be given enough fuel to finish it. Unless you're driving in circles aimlessly, you will have enough fuel. And even if you are worried about the fuel, you do have a string trimmer available that you could pull off and use. However, this lawn has no obstacles that we need to edge around. Everything is in an open lawn, so we won't be grabbing the string trimmer. And although you only have a maximum fine of 20 currency, the only fine you're likely to get on this is from if you turn too sharply and damage the ground. You do have a clippings container on the mower, but the penalties you get from those are negligible. However, it is, not a timed challenge, so if you want to go empty your clippings, you are free to do that too. Basically, just take your time, go slow. There are sections where the grass is tall enough to overload your mower, so as long as you're managing your overloads, you should have no problems completing this. To be honest, I think this one should have been the first challenge overall because of how easy it is. So we'll jump up onto the mower. Get ourselves lined up here. I'm actually going to swap to this view, which I prefer. We only need a 99.5% cut rating, which means we don't have to be perfect. We can leave a little bit behind. But this is a rather small lawn, so the 0.5% is not that much. Just keep that in mind. Do try to clean up after yourself so you don't have to make laps at the end to clean up after you've cut all the grass you can see. We need 5 centimeters for the height, so let's go ahead and start our mower. And we kind of want to line the grass up with the right side of the front of our mower. Kind of where the right or left side of the front right tire is there. That's a pretty good spot to keep your cut with, where you can go full speed and not overload your mower. And this is generally a pretty slow challenge. You can see the clipping bins there, the grass bags if you want to unload your mower. Again, you don't have to worry about that. But we're going to attempt to finish this without using the clippings bag at all, just to show how negligible the penalty from it is if we do fill up. Some of the expert challenges, you can fill your clippings container on the mower and the game tells you to go drop it off, but you never have to worry about that. In fact, the penalty doesn't even show up. So, as I said, try to keep the grass around that right edge of the front of your mower where the near where the left side of the front right tire is. You may have noticed we barely overloaded our engine. If that happens, just pull your finger off the accelerator immediately so you don't damage your engine. The bottom left-hand corner, we do have that engine condition bar. Because we're on an amateur challenge, overloaded my engine there, so we're going to take care of that. But because we're on an amateur challenge, we have a lot of wiggle room for damaging our engine. So We overloaded a little bit, but once we start getting to the center, we're going to try to cut down. Now, it might be difficult to see, but there's kind of an indent near the center of the mower. There's actually two of them, almost like a front plate or something like that. And when you start seeing your overload meter go up, when you head towards the center of the lawn, you kind of want to make your cuts at about 50% of in between where those two indents are. And then you can use the Pro View just to make sure. You see we missed a little bit there. But we don't have a time limit, and as long as you're following this kind of optimal path around the lawns, you're not going to have to worry about running out of fuel. As I said, other than the fact that this is the I really think this should have been the first challenge instead of the third one. But I didn't make the game. I just made achievement guides for it. And I'm willing to wager I'm one of the few people that have completed both versions of all of the challenges. The pre-trimmer and post-trimmer. I'm basically a deity of knowledge for Lawn Mowing Simulator. I'm sorry, I'll stop talking now. I don't really have a whole lot else to say, and this is a rather boring contract. There's not a whole lot for... not a whole lot going on. There's nothing on the lawns to run into or have to avoid. There's no trees, no flowers. With that done, we're going to head over to this side lawn here. As slowly as we can. I'm kidding. We're going as fast as we can. We just don't have a lot of speed in this mower. And we're going to work on this side lawn, and then we're going to go straight past it. And we're going to go to the lawn in the back and work on that next. And then that'll leave us with the other thin lawn on the other side of the lawn we just finished mowing. This is one of the only mowers I'm not entirely sure what you're cutting with. I'm not sure if it's in that front of the mower or if it's, you know, under under the seat, and I don't know how wide it exactly is to cut. That's why I tend to cut in third-person mode in it. And I don't use the Stego mowers very often because of it. The good news is there's only one expert challenge that requires a Stego mower, unless you're one of the people who enjoys using them, which, sorry for all the bad-mouthing I've been doing. It really is only because I'm not entirely sure where you're cutting, and it's hard to use this mower in first-person mode, which is my preferred method. We're gonna drive through here, and just real quick, we're gonna... Wow, we cannot turn. Make sure we got everything behind us, and we're gonna start work on this back lawn here, which is gonna take us a bit. The good news is that this lawn isn't all that overgrown. But it is rather dark back here, so don't be afraid to use the Pro View to make sure that you cut the grass over in those darker spots. Now, that may just be my bad eyes talking, but we're halfway through now. I didn't find any of the challenges to be quite as boring as this one. I know that's a little disrespectful, but you have a really slow mower. It's not really good at cutting. It has a very thin deck width, so you're not cutting a lot of grass at once. There's no obstacles on the lawn. Nothing really happening here. You barely have to turn. I guess that's probably why it's not the first challenge, because they didn't want to put the really boring one to start you off. There's not even any, like, lessons I can talk about, things you're going to want to keep in mind for expert mode, because none of the skills you even think about using in this challenge are really necessary. You're basically just driving the mower in a circle, or in a square, in a rectangle, excuse me. Let's be accurate here. This is also why I don't stream. I'm just not that exciting of a dude. Especially by myself. I think if my friend and I streamed together, then we'd be pretty funny. But as far as me by myself, I'm just a boring individual. I suppose with the stream I'd have people, well, maybe, watching and asking questions, but I don't think anyone's lining up to interview the Lawn Mowing Simulator champion. Like, nah. Maybe I should make a shirt that says that. We are getting there. We're only 18 minutes. Well, I think we're like 16 minutes in because I did a little preamble there, but it feels like the longest 16 minutes of my life, except for probably the last time I did this challenge, really. The amateur challenges are really just there for you to get used to mowing under required conditions, as the career mode doesn't really have any strict conditions for you. You get penalized if you screw things up, but you're very rarely in danger of ever failing any of your contracts. So, the amateur level is basically just, well, here's a bit of a limit on what you can do. Hopefully you can finish these. And then professional is an uptick, but it's still not all that difficult. The expert challenges are where the game, ties you to the mower and drags you through the lawn behind it. Which at this speed is just slightly uncomfortable. But no, really, like, some of the expert challenges, if you've gone through the career and you've just kind of been, mowing at your own pace and stress-free and all that, the expert challenges are not easy. So, I recommend taking a look. I have videos posted of Challenge 5 in the expert mode and Challenge 7, and I recommend taking a look at those, because if you think you can get those challenges done, then you can handle everything else in the challenge mode. And there we go, this section of lawn is done, and we're just gonna make our way to the last section over here. Just be careful so you don't smash into the hedges there. But that's really the closest you're going to get to an obstacle on this course. And we didn't have to worry about grass clippings. As you can see, we did get a notification that we're leaving grass clippings behind and that we're overloading our engine. We did finally take some engine damage there, but we haven't been penalized at all for leaving grass clippings behind. That penalty is meaningless in the career mode, or the challenge mode. It only applies when you get to the post-contract screen in career mode. was too busy talking and overloaded my engine quite a bit there. Actually, watch that. We're gonna see if we can... Nope. But there we go, we're done. We're gonna continue all the way. I was gonna say to watch and see, I was just gonna overload it continuously and you could see how much, or how quickly the engine condition went down. But that's all there is to the most boring and easiest challenge in the game. Amateur challenge number 3. If you have any questions, as always, reach out to me and I will do my best to answer them. But if not, I will see you guys next time.